right, so driven the regular M5 before. Let's see how this compares. So far, so good. So, I mean, 870 horsepower in rear-wheel drive is a ton. But you daily this car. What are some of the, like, or are there any quirks? It seems very livable inside.
Yeah, it is. It's a very livable car. It very much was so as long as I kept traction control on back when it was stock. The car is a little difficult to control if you get all the way into the throttle. People call this car the beast, you know, in terms of just M5s in general. A lot of people out there even referring to stock M5s, just because the nature of these is just so different, depending on how you drive it and how you set up everything. For the brakes do work, and we had to slam on the brakes going on an exit ramp here. Hopefully no one slams into the back of it. It's definitely an Autobahn cruiser, and it's a shame that we don't have, their speed limits around here are 70 miles an hour. But you know, it's definitely at home on the highway, and you will certainly see that in some of DFW's footage from the rally. You'll see that.
Yeah, when we got into Mexico, high speeds were hit.
Yes, indeed. In Mexico, people know this, but the stock M5 actually plays exhaust sounds through the stereo system, whether you have the stereo on or not. And some people have that coded off. I just left it on. I mean, it doesn't really interfere with the sound too much.
Okay, fun tidbit. I can't even hear, because I've learned to hear the difference. I can't even hear the stereo exhaust because the real one is so good. We're going to get tacos because this is a food blog after all.
So he's in efficient, comfort as mild as you can go with this car.
Which it's probably still more powerful than a regular M5.
Yeah. Now what I will say is when you slam the gas, I'm very careful about slamming the gas in the automatic, just because the transmission does a downshift with that. So when you want to drive Spirited, we'll put it in M2 and or M1 if you just want. Well, actually
So all the suspension and everything like that is stock, right?
Correct, all stock. You know, this is a heavy car, 4,400 pounds. I like it quite a bit. I think it's pretty handles pretty decently for a big car. No real issues. I mean, it's definitely not going to be. It's not going to feel like you know, a smaller M3 or something.
Out on a track or?
I have not. I've done some Spirited driving. Haven't taken it on a track, and I'm sure I'll be blasting through some brakes and tires with that, but I've kind of taken the cheap path on that.
Depends how hard you push it. I used to track the S5 all the... All right, okay, you just got to feather it a little.
Yes, this car, you definitely got to respect the power. About this car is, you know, as you go through the different settings, so, you know, right now we are in comfort mode, so here I'll flip the settings as we go, so... I just threw it into sport mode for the suspension, so you feel the suspension probably tighten up a little bit. And then
quicker rebound.
And then of course, so we'll hit a few more bumps. You'll kind of, you know, so feel it tighten up a little bit. And then we'll throw it in Sport Plus. So go ahead and put it in Sport Plus now. Manual says if you need to go up or down a steep driveway incline or whatever, you know, bottom and out wise, it says put it in Sport Plus because the shocks don't give as much. You get a chance to kind of feel the steering on this car. It's, you know, in comfort mode, it's going to give you more relaxed steering feel.
Feels like a regular 5
feels like a regular 5 Series probably. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in Sport. And the thing that I was amazed, I'd never seen a car that changes the steering dynamics. You know, like I said, I had the 911 and that had the different suspension settings, as did the AMG E55. But now, so you feel, now if you go Sport Plus, you're going to notice
feels almost like a Porsche. I mean,
yes, and the thing is, we get on the highway, we can go through the different steering modes, and you'll probably really get to feel what it's about there. And then the last one is the throttle. So the throttle control is going to dial up the boost. So you got efficient, sport, and Sport Plus, and actually, it's kind of interesting if you're just in the accelerator, when you hit the Sport or Sport Plus button, you actually feel the car start to move forward faster, even if you don't move your foot on the accelerator. So I don't know if it makes, I think it makes the throttle a little more sensitive.
Well, yeah, and the whole engine's electronic too, so it probably
dials it up. And you know, like we were talking earlier when I was just revving the car, playing around, putting on a show at the car show there. So basically, the exhaust is a little bit louder in Sport Plus too. Interestingly enough, even though the car no longer has the stock exhaust valve, My favorite button on this car is not the traction control, because I learned my lesson. Don't turn the traction control off. It has an MDM partial mode, but it's 46 degrees today, so we're gonna probably leave the traction all the way on.
For all you kids out there with Mustangs who love doing that, I'll link a picture of some consequences.
Favorite button in this car, so now to get to the favorite button, is this one right here, the transmission aggressiveness. So as you dial up the transmission, it's gonna do more of a shift pattern. It's gonna stay in lower gear. This is really what wakes up the car, even more than anything. Any of these other buttons that we've talked about, the shift button is really the thing that makes this car really come alive. It makes the shift points crisp and pronounced, and you'll start to see that as you. So right now we've got DFW's cars dialed in at Sport Plus all the way.
Sport Plus.
Yeah, Sport Plus all the way. We've got the transmission all the way up. He's in automatic mode, and
but I got the paddles if I.
As soon as you his heads up, he's got a heads up display over there. He's looking at. He just sees the speed. So the car is much looking at. He just sees the speed. So the car is much more torquey. It's very jerky.
That was like a quarter down.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I know this guy's responsible. He's gonna take good care of the car.
But yeah, let's take it out of Sport Plus.
So actually, hit the M2 button for me real quick. Get your heads up display.
That's
you have
cool.
a full tachometer.
That's really cool.
And the tachometer goes up to the yellow band and then the red line. Because I learned the hard way. I burned a 16 disc clutch and it burnt together. 8 discs on one and 8 on the other, odd even clutches, and one of them melted completely together. That was no. And stock. You can do what you want as you lay into the accelerator, upshift, downshift, but not modified. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're back in action. You can see here we can do all the different M stuff. So you see your red line counter there, and then do a crisp shift. There you go, boom. See,
super fast.
Just super fast with that DSC, and it really brings the car to life.
There
you go. So what you want to do is, this car's sweet spot, you really want to be at 4,000. Turbos sit on top of the engine, so the exhaust comes out of the top of the engine, goes through the turbos, goes through liquid to air intercoolers, and then comes down into the bottom of the engine.
Still the V8, even before that 2000, you still get power out of it.
Yeah, and M really changed the way they built the engines. I have a friend with the V10 M5, and of course those are the high revving 8,500 RPM type engines, and turn that thing out to redline if you want.
I'm not gonna redline it. I just want to get sweet into that power band.
You're fine to redline. I do it all the time.
Although
don't floor it. Well, I wouldn't floor it. We're less than 60 miles an hour. If you're above 60 and on the highway and it's warm, you can get into it, and not too much of an issue. I mean, I like to floor it, just floor it all the way. You can't do that with this type of car anymore, not modified.
Right.
And even stock, it was a handful.
Well, let me ask this first. Would you get more power in it?
No.
Is 870 good?
Actually, I had a little incident with the car, and several weeks in the body shop later, I started questioning, hey, maybe I should have kept the GTR. It was so predictable. I mean, this car has a fun element to it, that's for sure, but I was joking with some of my friends saying I think I actually got too much horsepower. I never thought I'd say that.
Can you have too much power? Yes.
I think you can. With rear-wheel drive, you definitely can. And I think, yes, indeed. I think BMW's taken the right approach. BMW has stated that they're moving to the all-wheel drive version for even the M series, and that's probably the next logical step for them to get all the power to the ground. And
AMG's working on that.
Oh yeah, and I do believe the latest 6.3S on AMG, I think it is all-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken. As far as it goes, I know that's obviously one of the key competitors. But when I was looking at this car, another car I have a lot of respect for is that Audi RS7. Was a beautiful car. Yeah. You have to redline, David. Come on. There you go. Shift. There you go. So yeah.
I will say this feels like more like an AMG car almost than an M car with everything you've done. And that makes sense. You had an AMG car, so you were looking for that probably, right?
Yeah.
And this has the almost German muscle carness of an AMG with your mods, but then all the nimbleness of an M car. So let's take it into a turn here. It's not my car.
So so you got the Sport Plus steering on.
They're very nimble as well. I'm the last car here. Nice. Well, dude, this is incredible.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It is probably definitely the favorite sedan I've driven, but also the scariest sedan I've driven, if I'm being honest.
There we go.
It's got all the handling of an M car. It's got all the, I think what impressed me most
It's got all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, because it's yeah, exactly. It has soft touch closed doors. I didn't talk a lot about that in the review because everybody knows that the 870 horsepower is mostly what I focused on, but the exhaust, you guys heard. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Wheel drive would help.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. That Quattro on the Audi would have the advantage there,
but
for sure.
You know, sometimes rear wheel drive is a little bit more fun. His Instagram down below. Definitely go check that out. He has some beautiful pictures of this car on there. So until next time, my speedy racers, drive on.